Hello guys, my name is Sparkfinger. Welcome to another video about AI Dungeon. Once again, one more person asked me how to deal with the filter. How do I deal with the filter? Because of the video I made earlier. This video has one good advice at this point because they did change the filter a few times. They changed the filter to be much more sensitive to what AI itself outputs. They watched my video and I'm pretty sure they changed it, or maybe it's just my megalomania. Okay, there is only one good way to avoid triggering the filter in AI Dungeon, because of how broken this effing trigger is. And that is not to play AI Dungeon. Now, if you are like me, you're still playing AI Dungeon, here are a few tricks that I personally use, and I haven't managed to trigger to trigger the blue text in a very long time, even though there is a plenty of quite lewd scenarios. And there is technically a possibility in my stories. Okay, let's just continue my game. Let's take a look at my main story. Okay, that's the last thing I did. Right, there is my last story. We are on a little adventure. The king randomly ordered us to go on an island and fetch a magic oil for the city's lighthouse. Here is number one thing I do. I set a couple things up, so let me show you what you do. First of all, we remove all the age. No one needs to know the age. We remove it from here, and we remove it from world info, from character sheets. That's very simple. Just save it like that. Number two, do not use words like lethal or anything suggestive like that. No, we just do not use this word. Words like lethal. We don't use words like young either. We don't create any suggestions. Ideally, you want to just take all the children from your stories and send them to a fucking orphanage, okay? Send them to an orphanage and don't visit it. Don't visit it until they fix the filter. Your kids, you don't need your kids. You need to play the game if you really want to play the game. If you're playing lewd scenarios, I don't recommend role-playing as, well, abnormal stuff. I don't, first of all, I don't recommend using my advice if you want to play abnormal stuff, if you know what I mean. If you want to play abnormal stuff, wait for Novel AI and you can play what you want. Okay, I'm looking forward for Novel AI too, but not for that reason, okay? I'm looking forward to it because I want to make videos about it, and a lot of them. And I'm also looking forward to, most importantly, checking out the AI that's been trained on novels. I'm really curious about it, because, you know, I myself like conventional D&D kind of stuff. Here I go using abilities from Elder Scrolls Online, one of my favorite abilities, because corrosive armor is great against werewolves and ESO as well. But that's a little tangent. Okay, what was I saying? Do not use words like lethal. Do not role-play as a schoolboy or a schoolgirl. Do not buy yourself little robots. Just don't do this if you want to keep playing the game. If you want to avoid danger, don't do this, okay? Use WordPad. WordPad number one. Total chats, use WordPad, okay? There was one more thing I had to say. Yes, don't use words like little. Don't use my advice for abnormal scenarios. Send all your kids to the orphanage. Remove all the age. If you really have to, you can say a young person, young teenager. Right, there you go, colleagues. So everyone has their age assigned in the world info. And guess what? Let me tell you something. Do not play with melons in horses, if you know what I mean. Don't play with melons. Don't play with horses. Don't fiddle around with the filter. Don't trick the filter. Tell yourself, is my subconscious telling me to trick the filter? Am I running on the edge of a knife? Do I want to slip from that edge of a knife? No, you don't. You want to play the game, or you want to make a funny meme about how you got banned? Make your choice. There you go. There's where my simple advice is. Let's reiterate again. Don't play with melons and horses, if you know what I mean. Don't use my advice for any abnormal scenarios. Use WordPad for that, or wait for Novel AI. Remove all the age. Send all children to the orphanage. Or age them up, you know, like with a magic cake in The Sims. Age up your kids so they are adult. And yeah, when you're, let's say, having fun time with your wife, make sure your kids are somewhere, I don't know, visiting their grandparents. Make sure they're not around in the story. Make sure the story doesn't remember any context, okay? That's very simple. So there you go. Avoid mentioning kids yourself, and don't let the AI mention kids randomly. And to do that, I strongly recommend, so the AI is less random, just set your settings to randomness 0.9. Yeah, I checked out 1.0. 0.9 is great. 1.0 is very normal, it's great. I prefer 0.9. There we go. Now this video is over. See you guys later. I'll upload this video later so that there is some space between my videos. Bye for now, guys. See you today, I guess.